All right, I think we are set. Hopefully, my audio situation is fixed. Hello, everyone. It is your boy, Dr. Solo Perry, coming to you live yet again for a daily warm up here on Ka-Pow, and you might be watching me on my Honor Studios Entertainment. The reason I stream these to both is because, quite honestly, this is a warm up for my day, right? And so even though Ka-Pow is for teaching and Honor Studios are my studio projects, I thought the people over at Honor Studios that follow me there might want to see how I like to kind of ease into my drawing chores for the day. And so, yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. We're not going to prolong this any longer than is absolutely necessary. And let's pull up the app. Hopefully everybody's picked me up okay. I'll get a little bit of music going. See how this sounds. I think that energy might be good for today. Yeah, I think the energy might be good for today. I think we can work with that. What do you guys think? Yeah. Nice little background energy. I love the energy of instrumentals because it allows me to draw and get into my groove without all of the extra. So we're going to pull up the old power prompt and we're going to start creating, and I'm going to keep it simple like I always do, or I try to. Feel free to download this at your leisure at powerpromptapp.com. It's available on iOS and Android. It's a thing of my own creation just to kind of help me get into drawing quickly without really using a whole lot of decision making for what to actually draw. So hopefully you guys find this beneficial. And if not, feel free just to draw along with me. You know, there's always that. There's always that. Just chill out, hang out, and let's get some cool art done. And so we're gonna do, we're gonna do genre, slash style, and prompt. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, so we got a wet barbarian. We got a wet barbarian. Okay, all right, that's what we're working with. All right, and we got to start the clock. Got to start the clock, right? I only like to give myself. Right now I'm at 45 minutes. So 45 minutes is a good, healthy place for me to start. If it works for you, give yourself an hour. But remember, this is just for warm-up. This is kind of to ease in and get the juices flowing, and is not meant to create epic pieces of art. I put the time limit on for the purposes of the stream, as well as on myself to kind of push myself in developing this this shorthand and making decisions quickly without getting muddled in the details. You see, I already got the clock started, and I'm not going to restart it. I think I can probably get this done within 45 minutes. I prefer to use traditional tools when I'm doing this, only because, once again, it's about confidence and decision making. You have to have confidence in the decisions that you're making when you're drawing. And I found for me that, even though I love my digital tools and they're great, that Control Z, you don't really have to commit to anything. Whenever you're going to undo, or when you can stack a layer and just delete a layer if it doesn't work for you, or all that. That's great. That's great. I use that for my jobs and for my students. But I always encourage people, whenever possible, especially when you're warm up traditionally, man. Just give yourself a chance to win with this. And make sure this autofocus. I'm like wasting a lot of my time. I'm not that confident. I just want to make sure my autofocus for my camera is not interfering with my progress. So, and is it on? Yes, it is. Turn off autofocus. There we go. There we go. So you guys won't be getting hit with this blur all the every time I move my hand. All right. So we have barbarian and we have wet. Barbarian and wet. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this so I can save it for later. Yeah, barbarian and wet. All right, we are a go. I think I'm going to start off with a red underdrawing. Since I'm not using the tonal paper like I did yesterday, I really do like the color contrast when I'm laying out my sketch. And so we're gonna just quickly lay down. You notice I'm just really blocking in really quickly. I want to have his head kind of more centered. His eyes looking down. We'll go and make him kind of buff. You see, I'm not trying to spend a lot of time, number one, on the warm-up sketch, and a lot of time in the decision making. Not at this point, because I really want to just really get to the heart of it and get loose, right? And this is confidence building for me as well. Don't get it twisted. I started doing these exercises with my students at the School of Comics here in Chicago, and they quickly fell in love with it because it's a push, you know. And yeah, your anxiety goes up a little bit. All right, it goes up a little bit, but we tend to find a way through it. And so I'm just blocking in. I'm going to make him really massive and kind of Hulk-like, right? And just so you know, I got a variation of Barbarian a few weeks ago during class, and this was the female Barbarian I did in 30 minutes, right? This is the female Barbarian, so you can do this. This is 30 minutes, but it was different prompts for her altogether, and one of the key prompts was that it had to be female. And so that's what I kind of created this app to kind of mix it up a little bit, to kind of ensure that, you know, you're getting, you know, when you're using it, you're being pushed in creative directions you normally wouldn't go on your own, places you wouldn't go on your own. I'd love to hear your input, and feel free to draw along and share with me, you know, what you guys create, and be sure to like and subscribe. You know, if you haven't already, just go ahead and hit that bell, and so you get notified when I'm live and when I'm streaming. And I want to hear from you guys. Leave comments, leave suggestions as I start, you know, growing my YouTube channel and increasing my presence here and launching my courses. I really want to hear from you guys, what you guys want to learn, what you guys would like me to draw. And rest assured, every session will not be a warm-up session that I'm on here. You know, I'll share with you commissions that I'm doing. Also have a Patreon. If you check out patreon.com/Ka-Pow School, I haven't made a graphic for that yet. Any help would be appreciated, you know, as I venture into full-time art instructordom. There we go. So we got a nice quick block in. So what do I want to do? I saw, you know, one of my favorite shows. What was it? I watched it all on Netflix. I'm having a brain fart. But I love the Barbarians in there. Forget the name of it. It's going to come to me after the stream is over. Guaranteed. So I might kind of give him this cross thing here. This thing going over here over the shoulder, right? He's got, you know, of course, his rib cage, and he's kind of hunched over a little bit. Now remember, when you're doing this, you know, one of the common responses I got from many of my students, and even from the beta testers when I created this app, is that you feel a little bit anxious, and because you don't know what it's going to give you, and you really want to kind of stay in the vein as much as possible. Now, here's the thing. It's an app. It's meant to be a suggestion. It's not meant to be an absolute. I like to kind of stick with whatever it gives me, because then you find yourself back in that rut of just trying to figure out what to draw, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So yeah, I'm going to do Barbarian Dude. And I have a sword here. We might do a do a dagger or blade here. Right. Blade here. And you always draw through, even when you're sketching. Make sure when you're sketching, you're drawing through the figures to make sure that everything stays in alignment. It's a common mistake that I see with a lot of young artists is that they'll stop at what they see, and then they'll just stop every line with what they see, and that's not necessarily. Ooh, I like this. I might do this. I might have to kind of reaching back to get this blade here, this hilt. He's pulling his sword out of the scabbard. Now, if I'm going to have time to do all this, I don't know. But we're going to see if we can get it done in the 45 minutes. And even though this is my channel and it's my app, I am fully prepared not to hit the 45-minute mark. But it's how I push myself. And, you know, kind of doing it in front of you guys really puts me home blast. Because it's easy to kind of just post it in on Instagram or post a time lapse, and then of course, you know, I can edit it, you know, but you guys are seeing it in real time. We'll probably give him some braids. If someone can tell me what that show is on Netflix, it's medieval. It's about England. His name is Edward, I think it is. Destiny is All. That's all I remember is the hook. But I binged that entire show. And it was really good. I loved the textures. I hope they bring it back for another season. Because I don't think they finished due to COVID. So yeah, there we go. Put something on his arms there, something there. All right, we're gonna get right down into the drawing now. All right, so I'm gonna go right in and start inking this. This is like a test for me because normally in my normal process, in my typical process, I go on with what I call hard pencils, and that's what I call it, where I kind of refine these lines and these edges, and then I go over inks last. But here I'm trying to make decisions quickly, right? And because I don't have a lot of time. I'm not giving myself a lot of time whatsoever. I'm just trying to meet the burden of the challenge and the challenge of what the app gives me. And I tell you, since I've been using this and doing this with my students at the school, my confidence has grown significantly, I must say. You know, you think that people, just because they're pros and that they have done things for a long time, yeah, we have measures of confidence, right? It's in degrees, but as with all things, you know, it grows over time, and it's a constant check and balance on yourself. Because artists, we should always be trying to advance, you know, our skills and, you know, the whole 9 yards. But, you know, we play with doubt just like anyone else. Is it good enough? Is the client gonna like it? Right? You know, those kind of things they're not, you know, they're not foreign. You know, am I going to get over editorialized? And, you know, what if I missed the mark, you know, design wise? You know, so, and I'll tell you, a year or so ago, I would not be willing to do this in front of you guys. Not cold, not raw like this, not in the least. I'm just trying to hit the main beats of this guy's face without going too far down the rabbit hole. We're going to see if we can get this guy done. Get his ear in. So yeah. Some kind of head ornament thing in here. And see, I don't even have time to really be neat like I want to. And that's another growth point for me because I am very anal when it comes to clean lines. And since I can't do that here because of the time constraint, I just have to make it what it is, right? So yeah, hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you guys are being safe during COVID. I hope you guys are healthy. I'm not gonna put clothes on this guy because that's just too many design elements in the time that I have, at the time that I don't have. So he's gonna be a bare-chested barbarian, and that's okay. Got one knuckle down, bump, bump. 2, 3. I want to give him some really big mitts as he's kind of grabbing the sword. And if you guys are doing the time challenge along with me, feel free to just kind of, you know, explore it at your leisure. You know, explore it at your leisure and, you know, just, you know, have fun with it. You know, have fun with it. Just, you know, do what you can. You can always revisit it, you know. The time constraint is just an added challenge, even to the point where I'm thinking about adding this to the app as a whole in the next iteration, a time lock feature, right? Where you can only use the time that the app is giving you. You can program it, but once, you know, once it runs out. See, unlike yesterday, I'm using my microns today because I'm trying to get these lines in here really quick. As he kind of got the sword there. Kind of like to have have some type of casual element when I'm doing stuff like this. It's easy to draw the, you know, the death grip hand. You know, that's kind of common comic book fare, right? I kind of like to challenge myself with, you know, all the different positions that a hand can take. Going to make this some kind of fur element. His face to pop. And I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm gonna have to go in here with my brush because I want a little bit of weight to this guy, a little bit of line weight. So I'm gonna come in here and grab my brush really quick. Give me some line weight out here to add a little dimension to this dude. Cuts line like this. You see, I'm not even really trying to stay all that neat, right? I'm not trying to stay all that neat. I'm really just trying to stay in the flow of it, right? You know, and so you know, you do what you have to do just to keep it moving. hand here. Now I'm kind of wishing I didn't spend all that time with the preamble. That's all right. We're going to make it do what it do. That's what we do here. That's what we make it do here. See, not a whole lot of underdrawing. I didn't give myself a whole lot of information to go with, but I kind of wanted him to have this kind of reaching back, and we'll see if it's more than, if I bit off more than I can chew or not. Gotta have a scabbard. All right, and put a little bit of visual interest in the scabbard here. The shoulder there. Gonna have this strap coming over like that. To have it connect in some way. Trying to keep the contours consistent. If I get out of frame, forgive me. I'm just trying to make sure I'm on target with this time. And I kind of like the challenge of, you know, you guys seeing me either hit or miss a mark. I'm, like I said, I'm fully prepared to not hit certain marks. That's the process, right? It's going to be his shoulder. His forearm coming there. All that muscle and beef. Make sure these hands read okay. So I have to do my own switching because I want to make sure you guys are catching all the different angles at which I'm, you know, kind of bringing the studio with me a little bit. We'll see if we keep that as we move forward, but I kind of like giving you guys an inside look into what's happening. Sorry about that. Thought I had my do not disturb on. My family, I don't care about do not disturb. My kids, my grandkids, and my people think I am like at their disposal 24/7. But hey, I'm older, so you gotta understand. I come from an age where, you know, the phones were stuck to a wall, and if you weren't just home, you weren't home. You just weren't home. And people just had to make do with, you know, hit you later, leave a message. Get his obliques in there a little bit. That crinkling that you hear and see, that is the metal plate that's on my table. I actually put it there trying to be fancy, and I gotta take it off and reposition it so that it lays completely flat on my table. And I like it because it allows me to put magnets on my table, and I can kind of hold more things here than I would if, you know, because my table's got a little bit of a tilt, right? And the magnets kind of give me that, for me, that little you know, that ability to kind of have things stick. Go and give him a blade here. You see, I'm not trying to get a whole lot of details here. right? I'm just really trying to get the beats of this guy. And if I get a chance to add shadows, I will, right? If I get to add, you know, little things like that, I will. Right now it's feeling like time's kind of against me. And I really like kind of sticking to this unless I'm really vibing the drawing. But when you're moving this fast, you really don't give yourself a lot of chance to really connect, you know, like you would if you're doing like design work and really, you know, doing a real art exploration. And that has its own benefits. You know, I was saying to my class the other day that, you know, just draw, right? Everything doesn't have to be a masterpiece, but it all counts towards your 1,000 or 10,000 drawings, however the saying goes, to mastery, right? Everything you draw counts. So just freaking draw, man. Don't overthink it, right? You have plenty of time for projects that require a lot of gray matter, your brain, right? But don't overthink it. Get in, get the pencil moving, get your pen moving, your paintbrush, whatever tool you're using, your stylus, and just draw, right? Just draw, just have fun. And this is something I'm preaching myself because, you know, I've been mostly freelance and able to take jobs as they come and go. But now as I'm, you know, making this a real shift, you know, as far as career and, you know, purpose and, you know, what I want to do, you know, for the rest of my life, you know, it's just draw, man. Everything doesn't have to be anatomically correct. Like, I'm sure I got some stuff messed up here, and that's not the point. I'm looking at 20 minutes still. All right, we'll see what I can do in 20 minutes. Make sure I'm staying on topic. Oh man, it reset on me. It's all right. I still got the photo. Still got the photo. There we go. Barbarian. All right, so I might have to put some got the wet element. I've been so focused on him. I'm gonna have to shift gears here. Put some straps around here. Add use a little shadow and dimension. Kind of cheat my way with forms. Make sure everything reads okay. Then I gotta make it rain on my man. Right? And this is when you really appreciate the power of what a brush allows you to do. Right? It kind of really lets me kind of really dial in and quickly, you know, define things. I'll go with the thicker side now. That's the more precise brush. A little shadow interest here. Kind of define his face. Make that pop a little bit. A little muscle mass here and there. I'm just adding some volumes here. Not a whole lot of time to really overthink it. Just really blocking in just some basic shapes to make sure that he reads clearly. And I think I'm going to end up doing the wet element and making it kind of rain. Could be blood. He is a barbarian, right? be like, why are you always gonna make things? Yeah, I do. I'm not even like an overtly you know, like a lot of overt brutality in my art. I kind of like things to kind of fit the situation. See how that pushes the arm back a little bit? Shadow right there. Use a bigger micron. I don't even have a real defined light source here, but once again, this is not a lesson. This is a warm-up, people. Keep the main thing the main thing, and the main thing here is to get loose, so I can get into my assignments, my chores, my artistic chores for the day, right? And know that at the very least, I got something out, got the muscles loose, got the creative juices flowing, right? All of that good stuff. That's the point of this. Not to create a masterpiece. You can use the app and all this to create a masterpiece, but that's not the point of. It's called daily warm-ups. That's it. That's all. Make sure these forms are defined. And listen, I am still really trying to get confident in creating a readable, acceptable, quick, way to kind of crank stuff out that resonates with people, So, you guys are seeing me learn on the fly, and I've been doing this for a long time, but I'm pushing myself new directions, and then hopefully new and interesting ways. This sword is not reading too well, so I need to go ahead and put some black in there, right? Hilt. I've lost way too much clarity in the sword, so I'm trying to salvage it with some shadows. This horde are about to pillage a town. That's him. Go ahead, eat into the shoulder a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm also thinking about doing like a cool down session. I don't know if you guys would like that. In the evening, when I've finished, my to-do list, just sitting down drawing for fun, right? It's called Solo Sketch and Chill. Actually, I'm creating assets for it. And if you guys would be interested, or if you're not interested, let me know. So now, see if I can make it rain on this dude. I have nearly enough textures going on. Got something underneath there so that it reads like a. See, this is what makes this tough, is that you just have to make stuff work, right? I'm not even trying to erase. Like if this was like a real intentional piece of art where I was trying to, create something to use later, I would have gone over this with pencil. I would have taken time and made other decisions. But the thing about the warm-up is that it allows you to really just kind of really quickly dive in, and when you're done, you can revisit it in your head, but you can move on to other things, and you don't feel, like you kind of failed in a mission at all. Artists, we have to guard ourselves mentally against, feeling underaccomplished in our efforts. But when you go into a project with something like this, like a warm-up, with very low expectations, it makes it a lot more palatable, and you kind of appreciate, what you were able to do instead of fretting over what you weren't able to do. Okay. A little shot of you guys can see me in my studio. Hey, hello. Reposition that camera next time so you can see me more firmly in my chair. This is really a forced action for me. I don't know if you guys are really familiar with the concept of forced action, but just doing something and figuring it out later. A lot of us will, especially me, I will postulate and procrastinate over starting something like, daily drawings and stuff like that. And then, man, it just never gets done. And so, all right, so what I want to do now is I kind of want to come in here with some grays. I got 10 minutes. I want to come in with some grays. I got to make it rain, right? All right. And so first, let me start with a really thin, right? And so right, it's barbarian wet, right? So I gotta quickly come in here and kind of make it feel like it's raining in here. That might be a little too thin. Let's try that. No, it's fine. We'll go with that. Make some. I know my inking buddy, professional inker, Marvel extraordinaire Jay Lyson will be cringing if he sees this. Jay, don't hold it against me. This is meant for speed, not beauty. Speed, not beauty. I'm not using any rulers, right? I'm not trying to make sure everything's in alignment. It's just about getting a general feeling and making sure that certain beats are hit. I'm rotating the paper in the line of my strength, my stroke strength, right? Make this really better, a little heavier, a little shadow under here, a little shadow under there, right? A little weight here. All this rain is hitting. He has this little. Let there be war. I'm going to add some grays in here too, to kind of add to that feel of raining. So we shall see what we shall see, good people. This is a cool. Oh, we got some bleeding here. Let me get that off of here, because I want to carry that all over. Some of this, we got some what's called ink migration, because this is alcohol-based ink. But it might actually, I might be able to make this work in my favor. Alcohol-based inks, just so you know, can lift certain inks off the paper if they're not permanent or dry. And so we get the smearing. Now, I'd be cringing right now if this was something for a project or for a client. I'd be cringing. But since it's not, we're going to let it be what it is. And here's another practice for all of you looking to start out is always have a scrap piece of paper, right? And test your media that you're going to be using. Test it on the paper, on the scratch piece before you actually start. That'll save you a lot of heartache. A lot of heartache, right? A lot of heartache. Trust the brother. I'm going to add some shadows to him. I'm kind of flesh him out a little bit. So we're going to add some, got a little time to kind of make him a little bit more interesting. Put his eyes in shadow. Right. Kind of building out his forms a little bit. And kind of defining him a little bit more. Right. I'm actually getting better. You should see my first one. I tried this a couple of weeks ago. It was let's just say I would not be relaunching my YouTube with that one. No sir. No sir. We get down, more shadow. Boom. Right. We got his here a little bit of interest, right? Trying to keep some of these forms consistent. Maybe I should use the broad tip first. See, you just watch me learn something. Broad tip, quickly block in, and move on. Make this sword kind of hopefully read a little bit better. There we go. Give you guys a better look here. And I'm gonna add some of this in there. Add a little bit of this in there. Remember, one of the prompts was wet. Right? One of the prompts is wet. So I'm not putting this on his body. I'm kind of putting that to kind of give that rain feel again. And now I'm going to go in with my process white. Got 3 minutes. And hopefully it'll give me enough white streaks to kind of break it up a little bit. A little negative space. And just up and down. Right? Up and down. Barbarian wet was my prompt. I got a little bit of time, so let me see if maybe if I can give some type of illusion to some, I don't know, clouds. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, warm up, right? See if I can finagle something respectable. Dark space so I can maybe have a lightning strike. I don't know. I don't know. That's C5, and I'll go back to a... I usually go down 2 levels to get, you know, some type of contrast between the two. It might be best just kind of putting that in there like that. And then, where's my white out? All right, let's see if we can get something going here. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and make some lightning in the background. Right. Thicks and thins. Right. Inconsistencies. I don't even know if that's reading well, but we're going to see if we can get it to read as good as we can for what we're doing. And we'll go all the way up to the page, to the edge, right? We got 43 seconds, and I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. Put the old Johnny Hancock on there. There we go. There we go. 45-minute warm-up sketch. Oh, I got a few more minutes. Let me go ahead and define that. Let me get all I can right quick. There we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap out. Tap out. Tap out. Oh, whew, buddy. All right. So, yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. We got it done. We got it done, but that's the warm-up. I'm on to other projects. Listen, if you guys like what you saw today and want to do it, feel free to join me. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Turn on that bell so you know when I'm going live. I'm going to be doing these 5 days a week. Now, I do these every day, but I'm going to be doing these 5 days a week. Every Monday through Friday, I will be sitting down and going through a warm-up sketch. Tomorrow, I'm bringing back Kids Zone. Kids Zone returns tomorrow. And so we're going to be, I know kids are back in school, but I've had parents inquire about it. And so I'm just going to do it. Some are going to be pre-recorded, some are going to be live, but tomorrow's going to be live. And we're going to start, I'm going to make sure that I have something for our young aspiring artists, something that's right within their wheelhouse for them to approach with some type of confidence and get some instruction. Be sure to follow me on my social media on Instagram, Facebook, and, well, I don't do Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, and here on YouTube. Share, invite others, okay? You can download my app at thepowerpromptapp.com. It's available on iOS and Android, or just type in the search, Ka-Pow Power Prompt, and it'll pop right up. It is $1 a month, but hey, a little bit goes a long way, and you get a lot of value for it. If you're looking for something to draw, if you're looking to make the most of your time, if you're working a 9 to 5 like I was for decades and don't want to spend 15 and 20 minutes just trying to figure out what you're going to draw for 5 or 10 minutes, it might be able to help you. And that's why I created it. It was a real sticking point for me personally. And so, yeah, hope to see you guys. I will see you guys here again tomorrow if God says the same. Be safe. Love on somebody, stay healthy, and I will see you guys later. God bless.